Welcome back to an incredible episode of Black Girl Healing Session, where we talk about everything that has to do with healing our mind, body, and soul. So if you're interested in today's topic, please stay tuned. So today's topic is titled Commit to Yourself, Your Goals, and Your Purpose. And I really want to say that this topic really means a lot to me because I'm going through a transition of truly committing to myself and everything that I want out of life. So if you feel like this episode resonates with your spirit as well as somebody else that you know, please don't be afraid to share if you care, because sharing is caring. All right, and also remember, you can listen to this podcast, Black Girl Healing Session, as well as Unapologetically Shaun, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, and always every Wednesday on my YouTube channel, Life with Shaun, I upload both podcast episodes. So also like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you know when each and every episode posts, as well as on my Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Just go and follow so you can get notifications on when each episode drops. Most of the time they drop midnight of Wednesday or noon of Wednesday for like Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. It all depends on how long it takes to upload it. Alright, so I don't want to ramble long, and I just want to get right into this topic because I know a lot of people really need to hear this message about committing to themselves. Alright, let's get right into today's topic. Have you realized that most of the time we commit ourselves to so many other things, such as to other people and like relationships? We can commit ourselves to being the best parent, the best person, or even committing ourselves to other people when they ask us to do stuff. But we never really take a moment to commit to ourselves and commit to our goals and our purpose in life. And I always wonder, why do we put ourselves on the back burner and always put others on a higher pedestal? That's something I struggle with, and I'm learning to start putting myself first, because if you are not happy and healthy, you can't be happy and healthy for anyone else. So, of course, this message today has to do with committing to ourselves and committing to our goals and our purpose. And one quote that I like is, to live a life you're proud of, one full of meaning and purpose, you need to build it for yourself. So you can't expect things to be handed to you in life. And that's one lesson that I've learned over the years, even growing up. In my example was my father. He was the type of person, or is the type of person, because he hasn't changed, to think that things are supposed to be handed to you. And I don't know why he still has that mentality, but that was something that taught me that nothing is in this life is free, and nothing's going to be handed to you. You have to put in the work. Just like when it comes to God, you can't just pray about it and just that's it. I always say faith without works is dead. If you don't put in any work, you can't expect to get anything back. So you can't expect to just say, hey God, I want this, and that's it. You don't do nothing. You just expect God to just hand it to you on a silver platter, and that's just not how things work. So this quote really means a lot to me, because it's like, if you want something out of life that you're so proud of and that means the world to you, you have to start building that life that you want. I just recently came back from a business conference, and basically a lot of the speakers really talked about, selling a dream or building your own dream, like your own dream life. You can't expect that to just happen. You have to build it up from the ground up. You have to build the life that you want. So that's really what that quote means, and it means a lot to me because I'm in the process of building my legacy and building a mark and leaving behind a mark that will help generations from a million generations from now, like continue my bloodline, like to be successful and just create a great legacy for my children and grandchildren and many more to come. So that is why I'm starting to practice committing to myself more, committing to my dreams and my goals and my purpose in this life. So just like I said before, nothing is going to change unless you make those changes in your life. If you want something, you have to go for it. You have to push yourself and strive for whatever you want, because it's not going to come to you freely in this life at all. So if you don't get nothing out of this message today, know that nothing in this life is free. You have to go out and you have to get it. All right. So one other thing I want to talk about, well, it's a lot of things I want to talk about. What I want to talk about next is get to know what you want out of this life. You have to figure out your why out of life, and that's all areas of your life. You have to figure out your reason why you do certain things, the reason why you're going so hard for a dream or a purpose. You have to figure out what you want out of life, and a lot of us don't actually have the moment or don't even make the time to say, hey, this is what I want out of my life. We are so stuck of going on like autopilot or going with the flow of life and not truly figuring out, well, what do I want out of life? You just doing what other people are telling you to do. Just like we are told to go to school and get good grades and go to college and get a good job and get married and have the white picket fence and the big house and all the children and a little dog. They tell you to do all these things, but everybody don't want that same dream. That's not everybody's goal in life. That's the quote unquote American dream, but everybody don't want that dream. So you have to figure out, what is your dream in this life? If you don't want to go to school, don't go to school. If you want to be a content creator, go be a content creator. They make more than people that go to school. At least if you're a content creator, you don't go to school, you don't have to have no student loans. Now, we don't want to talk about student loans right now because they are inching their way up. Hopefully they pushing back again. Don't nobody want to pay them. They just need to erase them. But that's a whole nother story for another day. But just sit down and figure out, what do you want out of life? Don't worry about what other people may think about you or may talk about you. Just figure out what's your desires out of this life. And what you should do is try to modify your priorities and align them with your commitments, the things that you want out of life, your goals and your purpose. Priorities is a major thing, and I think I probably should make that an episode by itself. I already made an episode, make yourself a priority, but priorities in general, a lot of people have them messed up. Like, for example, when it comes to holidays like Christmas time, people will prioritize gifts over their bills. And I never understood that. But I need a place to sleep and eat and just be happy. Like, I don't care about a gift. Like, your bills should be paid. A gift don't matter. You could tell somebody Merry Christmas, and that's a gift. You can pray to God for them, and that's a gift. Write them a letter, draw them a picture. You ain't got to go spend all your money and be homeless for a gift. So you need to definitely figure out your priorities, and I definitely need to make that an episode in general, because a lot of people their priorities are just jacked up, and it's sad. Alright, so next, you have to develop uncompromisable discipline. You have to learn how to be disciplined in general. You have to develop self-discipline, because a lot of people do not have self-discipline. They think that they can't do something. They let the word can't control their life. You can do whatever you want, or not whatever you want, but you can do whatever you put your mind to if you just stay disciplined. Just like when people want to lose weight or go to the gym or eat healthy, it all takes self-discipline. It's not just motivation, it takes self-discipline. So you just have to be disciplined in all areas of your life. If you have a goal that you're trying to complete, you have to stay disciplined, or you will not complete it. You will not be successful in that goal that you're trying to achieve because you're not disciplined. So that's what's something that you need to practice, is to be more disciplined. Also, start establishing boundaries. Now, when it comes to boundaries, people are going to hate you because you set boundaries. And who cares what they think? Because your boundaries matter. If somebody can't respect your boundaries, then that somebody don't need to be a part of your life. Boundaries are important. If it's something that you don't feel that contributes to your life, or you don't feel that you want to do, set those boundaries. And later on, they will respect your boundaries. But you have to set the boundaries early, so they know, oh, this person not gonna go for that. And that's in all aspects of life. When it comes to work, relationships, anything. Having boundaries with your parents, your children. You have to set boundaries with people, or they will run all over you and they will take advantage of you. And I've learned that over the years. That's why my favorite word now is no. If I don't want to do something, no, I'm not doing it. Or I'm just not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing to you. I'm just not going to respond, No is it. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. I don't have to do it, because I don't have to do it. So please learn how to establish boundaries. And I promise you that you will be well off because you established those boundaries. And oh man, this is probably the number one thing that I think we all need to do in life, is to get out of our comfort zone and to take some risk. Man, oh man, oh man. Just like I was saying, that I went to my business conference, convention, however I want to put it. This was me stepping out of my comfort zone and start to take some risks. I made sure that I went here so that I know I can do it. And I can tell myself, hey, you are capable of doing this. You are capable of talking in front of people. You're capable of being successful. Because I'm a very reserved person. I was very, very shy before. I didn't like speaking in front of anybody. But how do I expect to be successful if I don't speak? If I don't open my mouth and speak? I can't expect to be successful if I don't get out of my comfort zone. And a lot of us are afraid to get out of our comfort zone. So I'm so grateful that I pushed myself to go here. It was hard. Those 3 days, they were long hours, but I got a lot out of all those speakers. They all inspired me to know that I can do it and I can be successful and I can create the life that I want for my children, for myself, for my family. I can build for my family, So that was my way of stepping out of my comfort zone. And when I first initially stepped out of my comfort zone was when I started my business, Amour XXIV. And, you know, running a business, you have to be a people person. And at first, I was not a people person because I was shy. I didn't want to talk about, you know, what I'm doing. I didn't want to, you know, share those parts of myself, you know, because again, you're scared of rejection. But owning a business, you're gonna get rejection. You're gonna get customers that aren't satisfied, and so I'm learning to take criticism, and I'm learning to just take those risks when it came to business. And then now starting another business, continuing it, because I kind of stopped a little bit when life happened. But moving forward in another business, it's just letting me know that I can get out of that comfort zone, and I'm able to do it. So I want you all to start stepping out of your comfort zone in some type of way, even if it's, how can I say, even if it's just like speaking up, speaking your mind and not biting your tongue, you know. That's stepping out of your comfort zone. Going somewhere that you wouldn't normally go, like a positive place, not nothing bad, or doing something that you wouldn't normally do. Positive, people. So just try to get out of your own way is what I'm really saying. And that was my whole point of going on that trip. I went to San Diego, if you didn't know. But that was my main reason, was to get out of my own way and to see if this is what I want to do. And I think this is what I want to do. So the last thing I want to say about commit to yourself and your goals and your purposes is start making hard, life-changing decisions. Stop being afraid to do something that's going to make your life better, or that will change your life. Just like I said with risk taking, we have to start doing that. And some life-changing decisions is as simple as letting people go that don't serve you in life. It doesn't matter if it's a parent. It doesn't matter if you're older, you have older children, and they just don't serve you. They're not positive. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. You still can love people, but you also can love people from a distance. Or if it's friends, family, anybody. If you have to let people, if they're not serving your life in a positive way, you have to let them go. And it's okay to do that. If it's a job come a dime a dozen. You can get a job anywhere. They hiring everywhere. So don't think that you have to be committed to these jobs, because you don't. And it took me a long time to realize that, like, I've had a whole lot of jobs. I couldn't even count how many jobs I had. I've had so many jobs, I done forgot some of the jobs. Because I just kept moving forward. Because I knew that's what I wasn't about to settle nowhere. And that wasn't what I wanted to do. And I knew that it was more to life than working a job that I hated, you know. So you don't take anything from that. Don't settle for anything out of life. Do not settle, because you will be miserable. And remember, we only have one life to live, so you're supposed to be living your life to the fullest. So do not settle for nothing, and don't commit yourself to anything that you're not going to be happy with. That's including relationships, jobs, people, places you don't want to go. Like, don't commit yourself to anything that you don't want to do. So let's wrap this up. So again, this year, we're going to be committing to ourselves, our goals, and our purpose this year, people. We're going to do better this year. We're going to put ourselves first. We're going to take ourselves on dates. We're going to treat ourselves. We're going to make sure we grow spiritually, mentally, and physically. We're going to grow this year. So please commit to yourself this year. Write yourself a commitment letter. Or even write yourself a self-love letter. Purchase yourself a self-love ring like I recently did. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, Life with Shaun, I do have a video about me purchasing me a self-love ring from Pandora. So that's a great idea. Go, because that's like a reminder that you're committed to yourself by just purchasing yourself a ring. So commit to yourself today, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever listen, please commit to yourself. And I want to thank you all for listening to Black Girl Healing Session. This week's episode, Commit to Yourself, Your Goals and Your Purpose. And I hope you have a great week. And remember to share if you care to somebody that you feel will resonate with this message this week. I know it was longer than I normally do my episodes, but yeah, I just had to get all of that out. And yeah, so have a great week. Remember to commit to yourself and do something positive for yourself this week. All right, bye.